never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. You know what drives me crazy? You know what really grinds my gears? I'll tell you coming up in a few minutes, but first, since it is the college football off season as far as games being played, I know college football is pretty much a year-round sport now, but the on-the-field stuff is done except for the bowl games. And since it is, I want to come on here and make a video talking about all the things that I got right, that I predicted before the season started, and then sometime during the off season, if I remember, I want to come back on here and tell you all the things that I got wrong. Because if you're going to talk about what you got right, then you also got to talk about what you got wrong. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again, that I do not go back and watch these videos after I make them. So there's probably some stuff that I got right or wrong that I just do not remember saying because I have not gone back and watched the video. So all I can do is talk about what I remember getting right and what I remember getting wrong. And then after that, I want to tell you what really grinds my gears. And if you're a social media person at all, you're probably going to know right away what I'm going to talk about. But first, let's talk about what all I remember getting correct when I was making all my preseason predictions. I said that Louisville would have a pretty good season because they did not play Clemson and they did not play Florida State. So they were avoiding the two best teams in the ACC. So even though they had a brand new quarterback and a first-year head coach, I thought their schedule was beneficial enough that they would have a pretty good season, and they won 10 games. So I would say that qualifies as a good season. And just like Louisville, I said the same thing about Missouri. I said either before the season started or it might have been after the first couple of weeks that I thought Missouri had a chance to have a really good season. And I believe I even said they may not upset any highly ranked teams, but they're going to win a couple of games you don't expect, and they're going to look good in the games they lose. And just like Louisville, they had a double-digit win season. I would say that qualifies as a pretty good season. I also said before the season that Iowa would end up being 9-3. And I even said in my video, if I remember correctly, that they should be 10-2. But knowing Iowa and how they always lose a game, they shouldn't lose. I'll put them at 9-3, and they ended up going 10-2. Worst offense in the history of mankind. You can send 5-year-old kids on a football field, and their offense will look better than what Iowa does, but yet they somehow win games. I picked NC State before the season started to win 8 or 9 games, and that's exactly where they were. I also said numerous times during the season that Washington had the best offense in college football, and I think that's pretty clear. And they had the best receiving group in the country, and Michael Penix Jr. led the country in passing yards. Now, we all know that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best wide receiver in America, but as far as the best receiving group, it's Washington. They've got 3 receivers that if they all 3 went in the first round of the draft, it would not surprise me at all. I also said that Texas had a chance to be undefeated, and they went 11-1. And I believe I even said that Texas had a pretty good shot of winning a national championship, and they're one of the Final 4 teams, so that gives them a pretty good shot of winning a national championship. I also said that Furman, in my Furman preseason prediction video, would be 8-3, and I think they went 9-2, and they even made it to the FCS playoffs. They were the number 7 overall seed. They lost Friday night in what was the 3rd round of the FCS playoffs, but it was their 2nd game because they had a bye in the first week. So Furman had a really good season. They lost Friday night to Montana, and if you're not an FCS follower, Montana is a powerhouse at the FCS level. All those schools way out west where it's cold are really good at FCS football. You've got Montana, South Dakota State, and North Dakota, who are all powerhouses at the FCS level. I also said before the season that Florida and South Carolina were both 5 or 6 win teams, and that's what they were. And both of them were 5 or 6 win teams. So they were both right where I thought they would be. And I also said that Florida State would be a 10-win team and be a top 10 football team. And I think it's clear that they're a top 10 football team. Those are all the things that I remember getting right. And I'm sure there's other things that I said that I just do not remember saying. And it is my goal sometime during the off season to come back on here and tell you all the things that I got wrong. But I want to tell you right now what really grinds my gears, absolutely drives me crazy. And then I'll explain to you why it drives me crazy. But these players in college football now have to stop doing this social media nonsense. And almost every one of them do it in the same way with the same wording. So you can tell it's contrived, but it's almost contrived to the point to where it's almost hard to believe that the player's actually saying it, and it makes you want to believe that a computer is generating the response because they all look almost verbatim. And that is the fact that all these players that transfer now will come out and say, I love my teammates, and I respect everything I did there, and everything I learned there, and everything I accomplished at whatever the school is. And this coaching staff has taught me so much, and I will forever be a whatever school they're leaving. But after thought and talking to my family and deliberating and a lot of prayer, I decided to transfer. Stop doing that. 25, 30 years ago, before the transfer portal stuff, you could say that, and it almost makes somebody feel sorry for you because they know that something has to be going on behind the scenes to make you want to leave that program. But this day and time with the whole NIL thing, there's no more loyalty. There's no more loving my teammates. There's no more loving the program. There's no more loving the coach. That's gone. That's hogwash. Don't even say it. Just leave. Just leave, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. We all know you're leaving for more playing time and or for more money. Just say that. Don't leave a program and say, I'm going to forever be a Tiger or a Bulldog. No, you're not. If you're leaving that program to go be something else, that's what you are now. If you want to forever be a whatever team it is, you don't leave. Don't leave the program and tell me I'm forever going to be this. No, you're not. Once you leave the program and go be something else, that's what you are now. You can't stay there forever, but you could stay there until you graduated, and then you could say, I'll forever be a whatever. But when you leave on your own accord to go somewhere else, you're not a forever Bulldog or a forever Tiger or a forever Trojan. Those days are gone. Once you leave willingly on your own accord, the new program you go to is what you are now. Stop doing that. Just get on social media and say, I've enjoyed being here, but I'm leaving. Or thank you for all you did, but I'm leaving. Or do like the Kansas basketball player who transferred into Kansas after last season. He pretty much got on social media and come out and said, hey, I'm going to Kansas because I know that for one, I can win a national championship, but for two, they're paying me more NIL than I'm making now. Just say that. A lot of folks got mad at that kid for saying that, but I give the kid props for being honest. You're telling everybody, I'm going to Kansas because I'm going to get paid more money. Now that you're getting paid, that's why you're leaving. These Major League Baseball players or NFL players don't say, well, I'll forever be a Patriot, but I'm leaving. No, you're going to a new team for more money. Now that college players are getting paid, you're going to a new team for more money. Either say that or just keep your mouth shut. But don't get on social media and say, oh, I'm forever indebted for all the things I've learned here, and I have so much respect for this team, and blah, 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 and I've learned so much, and I'll forever be a whatever, but I'm leaving. That's hogwash. That's nonsense. Just keep your mouth shut and leave. That really grinds my gears. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. When a cougar gets so old she needs a hearing aid, she becomes a deaf leopard. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of three. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.